All right, KMR, we're hanging out, checking out my FD3S. And I gotta thank everybody who liked the last video we did on the MX-5, a little bit of a shop talk, engine bay tour. That's really what inspired me to pop the hood on the FD and do a little video on it. A little story behind this car. It originally was a USA automatic FD with a blown up motor. We picked it up, swapped it to a manual transmission. It's got a beautiful Exidy twin disc clutch. And then we didn't want to do a 3-rotor or 4-rotor swap on this particular car. We wanted to do something that was excessively wild, but still based around what the manufacturer had in mind. So this is a USA spec FD3S block in the car. And yes, the car was factory twin turbo, but those are obviously not the factory twins. So trying to pay homage to really what Mazda had intended, a lightweight sports car with fantastic balance, but we obviously wanted to make more horsepower. So this particular motor has the KMR half bridge porting done to it. Sounds great, great response, great power band, capable of making horsepower anywhere from on low boost 300. Particular setup, we're just trying to generate a safe 500 to 600. It's an ethanol flex fuel setup. We're using a Haltech computer tuned by Nelson Savario, all the way up into the 750 horsepower range on some of our race motors. And as you can see, we're running twin turbos, but these are not the OEM twins. These are aftermarket, oil-fed, water-cooled Turbonetics ceramic ball bearing turbos. These are amazing turbos. Obviously, the little screens on the front are more of a show touch when we hit the track. We're putting bigger filters on there for a lot cleaner air. You don't want anything going into any rotary motor or any motor for that matter. But one of our goals behind this build was to still utilize some of the OEM ideas. So it's got a Mishimoto aftermarket FD3S radiator, still with the original twin fan setup controlled by ECU. We obviously had to put a bigger intercooler in here, so we went to a V-mount style setup and got the largest intercooler we could get in here and optimized our boost response by keeping our intake tubes, our intercooler piping, as short as possible. And you can see we're not running the twins separately into the intercooler. We've got a merge, so we equalize our boost into the intercooler, allowing it to cool down and get into that throttle body up there on the top. That throttle body is a Rotary Works single butterfly, so we're again optimizing airflow, allowing this motor to breathe. Kind of a neat setup. Really a Sema build, something where we wanted to showcase some of what we're capable of. We're running a electric water pump. We're also running a side mount alternator bracket, and you can see how just by removing your water pump housing and dropping the alternator down to the side, it just looks so much cleaner inside the FD3S engine bay. We also decided to go with hard lines on all of our boost lines. I think this is a great idea as long as the motor's solid mounted. You don't want to have those solid lines getting too much flex to them, but if you're basically building a race setup, I think there's a lot longer longevity to solid boost lines, and it definitely looks a little cleaner on that show aspect. Helping protect us from heat, we've actually got PTP turbo blankets on here. Do a great job not only keeping the heat in, but if you're familiar with how turbochargers work, that heat actually keeps them spooled, helps them flow better. You really don't want that heat getting into the engine bay. You want it kept in the back of the turbo. You can see over here, we've got our Haltech coils neatly mounted, some aftermarket spark plug wires done by DNA Garage, who helped wire this car up. It's just a really nice setup. It sounds amazing, and I really am looking forward to getting it back out on the track. Down here inside, you can see we're running aftermarket aluminum fuel rails, CX Racing lower manifold that's been ported by KMR. Everything's been matched. Definitely helps increase flow. It's not a great bottom end setup when you think about this being half bridged, twin large turbos. We've got 2000cc injectors all the way across. This is a race setup. It's not a street setup, but it's a fun setup. It shoots fire, it sounds mean, and when you pop the hood, it definitely gets the looks. But I thought this was a cool thing because so many people just discount what the 13B can do. But if you spend some time with your factory 13B, that FD3S motor, there's no reason you can't generate anywhere from a safe 300 up to safe 700-800. A lot of people will even claim up into the 9s, over 1,000, but then you're really getting into drag race setups, which I think reliability really starts to go down, drivability starts to go down, but it's really dependent on what you're into. For me, I wanted a wild setup, so we went pretty wild on this. Feel free to ask questions if there's anything I'm not covering that you're seeing in here that you want to know about. But basically, we're trying to generate more content, answer questions, and show off what we've been doing at KMR, because we are a shop and a brand that not only makes products, makes porting templates, but hey, for 20 years we've been racing rotaries. You can check out some of my other videos. We definitely get out there and test what we're doing. We stand behind what we make, what we sell, and the ideas that we like to share. KMR, make sure to give us a follow. Mohan Racing. Thanks for watching.